Hello everybody, welcome to another edition of the Thai Law Forum. Today we're going to talk about Fast and Furious in the news, the gun running operation that has Eric Holder and his department, as well as the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco and Firearms, in a bit of a scandal-ridden situation. Now, Fast and Furious, for those of you who lack background in this, it was a gun running operation, which means that the ATF actually provided guns to various members of the Mexican drug cartels, purportedly, allegedly, to check where the guns wound up, who were the big kingpins of the operations, and ultimately crack down on these dangerous characters and their criminal activity. Now, it's quite unusual to have this type of operation involving guns or involving firearms. This operation was similar to a reverse sting. Reverse stings are normally used in drug situations. A regular sting is where a police officer is posed as a buyer, purchase drugs, and then arrest the drug dealer. A reverse sting is where the police actually act as the drug dealer selling the drugs to the public, which is considered very controversial. But it's even more controversial where the contraband that the operation involves is not drugs, but is guns, because the guns are much more dangerous and in fact lethal, which leads us to the ultimate result of Operation Fast and Furious that's caused such a furor and disappointment in our government. And that's that approximately 2,000 guns were released to members of the Mexican mafia, and this wound up into about 200 deaths. One of the deaths included Officer Brian Terry, a member of the U.S. Immigration Enforcement Office, and his family naturally is quite upset, and the public at large is quite upset as to something so negligent can occur at the very top levels of our government. Now, the scandal has actually exploded even further than that, because the President Obama has granted executive privilege to Eric Holder, so Eric Holder can avoid a contempt citation. A contempt citation is a criminal charge, and the contempt citation is due to the fact that Representative Issa is running the Congressional Inquiry Panel to try to obtain documents to determine exactly what happened with Operation Fast and Furious and who had the responsibility for this big failure. Eric Holder has refused to comply with producing the documents, and ultimately Issa issued the contempt citation, or his committee issued the contempt citation, and President Obama provided an executive privilege order, which the last time it was used in a very public manner such as this was with U.S. v. Nixon in the Watergate scandal, and this is basically similar to a Fifth Amendment assertion by a private citizen, where the president says this is a critical matter that's essential for the running of my presidency, that's why I can't release the data, which is unusual because the President Obama wasn't directly implicated in the Fast and Furious scandal, and apparently now, through issuing the executive privilege order, he's basically saying, yes, my office was directly involved, which seems counterintuitive as to why he would put himself in the midst of this controversy. Perhaps he actually is involved. But nevertheless, the Supreme Court has ruled that in U.S. v. Nixon, that executive privilege cannot be used in the event or in the course of a criminal investigation, and must relate to the actual duties of the functioning of the executive branch, i.e. the presidency. But the latest controversy and what's in the news is accusations by various conservative and libertarian commentators that the real purpose of Fast and Furious was not to track the guns to find out who the bad guys were and arrest them, but the real purpose, or at least part of the purpose, was to create a furor about the release of drugs, or rather the release of guns and the use of guns in the southwest area of the United States and Mexico, in order to support various gun control measures in violation of the Second Amendment. The Second Amendment, the right of the citizen to bear and own arms, is a big controversial issue between the Republicans and the Democrats, and usually the Libertarians also believe in the right to own arms for the citizen to have the full right to the Second Amendment, which leads to the ironic situation is here the purpose of the Second Amendment was to protect the citizens against an unethical, a tyrannical government, and here you have a tyrannical government directly creating a situation through its tyrannical actions to suppress various citizens' Second Amendment rights. So this is the exact purpose of the Second Amendment, to protect us against government agencies and activities such as what we see in Operation Fast and Furious. Now, various liberal commentators have stated that that's absurd. There's absolutely no evidence that the true purpose of the Fast and Furious operation was to crack down on the Second Amendment and to provide more regulations and support for gun control. So we had to do some research ourselves. We went to the internet and we went to the CBS News channel, and we found this document which refers to January 4th, 2011. It states as follows. On January 4, 2011, as ATF prepared a press conference to announce arrests in Fast and Furious, so this was before the scandal broke. This was back when it was still a legitimate operation. Newell saw it as, quote, another time to address multiple sale on long guns issue, unquote. And a day after the press conference, Chiat emailed Newell, Bill, well done yesterday. This is in quotes. In light of your request for demand letter 3, this case should be a strong supporting factor if we can determine how many multiple sales of long guns occurred during the course of this case. So here there's apparently documentary evidence, a recorded press conference where agents of the FDF stated that they would like to use the operation of Fast and Furious to support demand letter 3, which requested further regulatory compliance and reports of gun sales, which is a form of gun control. So there you go. We would, if Holder would actually produce the evidence and documents that were required by the subpoena that ISA issued to him, we would have more evidence. But we don't have any evidence from Holder, but we do have the evidence from the ATF press conference that the purpose of Fast and Furious was to crack down on the Second Amendment. That's all we have today. Save the Constitution. Thanks for viewing, and we hope to see you again.